All right, welcome everybody to the Resteem Radio Show here on MSPWaves Radio. My name is Main Event. I'm here with my co-host, Poetic Snake. How are you doing, Snekky?
Good evening, everybody. I'm doing rather well. How about you, Maine? How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. The weather's finally starting to get a little bit warmer. Not quite, but spring, I feel like, is on its way, maybe finally, after a really long winter. So I'm excited about that.
Oh my gosh, I'm frozen solid. It's -7 or 8 here, and it feels like -20. So I am like a big icy snack right now.
Once again, everybody, welcome to our show that we call it the Resteem Radio Show. And what this show is about, it's all about basically the Steem blockchain, the people who use it, the different projects that are happening on it, and our general thoughts and opinions about it, basically. So, welcome to the show here on MSP Waves Radio. Big shout out to everybody that's listening and typing right now in the audience chat room. You're welcome to join us there as well. We are on Discord chat in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which is the home of the Minnow Support Project. And we are chatting right now in the MSP Waves audience room. So shout out to everybody that is in there right now. And once again, you're welcome to jump in there and say hello. Let us know that you're listening. I already see a bunch of people in the room right now. So welcome to everybody.
Yes, welcome, and thank you for tuning in.
We've got a busy show for you tonight. We've got a couple of different interviews happening on the show this week. In the past, this show was primarily an interview-only show, and we're trying to expand that now a little bit. We're going to start doing some different segments on the show. We're going to talk about curation, kind of some current events happening around the Steem blockchain and things like that, and possibly some other categories as well. So be sure to check us out each week here on MSP Waves, and it's probably going to be a completely different show each and every week. So we really appreciate you taking the time to join us this week. And again, you can find us on Steemit. I'm at Main Event. I just spell it with the number 1, and she is Poetic Snake, so it's at Poetic Snake.
Yes, that is me.
And we welcome anybody that is listening out there to join us on the show sometime. All you have to do is send us a message right on Discord at those same usernames or steemit.chat, whatever you prefer. And we would be happy to have you on the show. We're here every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC time, right here on MSPWaves.com and on Discord as well. So we would love to hear your Steemit story, how you found your way to the Steem blockchain, and the things that you're doing on there. If you're a witness, we're trying to feature a Steemit witness every week here on the show, if we can do that. So if you're a witness out there listening and you want to just kind of come on the show and talk about the projects you're doing and kind of the work that witnesses do, we'd be grateful to have you on the show. This week, as I mentioned, we do have a few different guests joining us for interviews. Our first guest, unfortunately, wasn't able to be here live on the show, but we do have a recorded interview to share with you. We had a chance to speak with Resteem. And Resteem is a Steem witness. He's the creator of the Steem Speak group on Discord and a number of other projects as well. So we're grateful to have him on the show here with us this week. So we're going to play that interview for you in just a moment. And then as soon as those are done, we will have a couple of live interviews in the studio, the quote-unquote studio. We don't really officially have one, but we'll have them here in the show, and they're going to share their projects with us as well. So stick around, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us. Go ahead, Snekky.
I was just going to say I love my little studio that I have here, my comfortable couch.
Maybe someday we'll have a studio, like a real one. Like a...
Wouldn't that be amazing?
This, like an official brick and mortar Steem radio station would be really cool, but
with apples, right?
That's just my opinion, but... And of course, we'll do our disclaimer here before we get going. Of course, everything you hear on this show is strictly our opinions only. We are not experts of any kind. We are not financial experts, so do not take anything you hear on this show as any kind of advice or financial advice. Always do your own research. MSPWaves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the hosts of this show or our guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you hear on the Resteem Radio Show is provided for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only. And what do we finish
Your own
with?
research.
Absolutely. Always do your own research. So we're just here to have a little bit of fun, get to know some different Steemians on the platform. And again, up first, we're going to talk with Resteem here on the show. And Snek, if you could share the link to his profile here, I'm going to go ahead and get this interview started. Welcome, everybody, to the Resteem Radio Show. My name is Ma1ne, and I'm here alongside Poetic Snake. And we have a special guest for the show today. Please welcome Resteem to the show. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here. And I know you're quite well known on Steemit here from different projects that you've worked on and things like that, but maybe some people listening may not know much about you. And so this is a great opportunity for us to get to know Resteem a little better. And whereabouts in the world are you, Resteem? What country are you in, if you don't mind telling us?
Well, right now I'm dipping my toes in a swimming pool in Latin America, enjoying the summer.
That's awesome. And how long have you been on the Steem blockchain?
Oh, since like forever, it feels like now. Since the year it started.
Okay.
Did it start in 2016? Or was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I think I saw you then.
I think it was July back then. Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you remember how you found out about the Steem blockchain or what brought you here in the first place?
Yeah, well, somebody were stealing content from a website I was writing an article for, and somebody alerted me that it was on steemit.com, and it had already started earning money, so I joined Steemit to protect my I guess my intellectual property.
That's really interesting. So you said you were writing for another blog and someone else actually plagiarized the content and put it on Steemit, and that's how you found out about it, huh? Well, that's not a very good experience to start out with.
Well, that's how it was for me. I had heard lots of people talk about Steem in my community, but I hadn't checked it out until somebody plagiarized my content like that. I couldn't stand seeing anybody making money in my face on something that I had just spent 2 hours making.
Yeah, exactly. I can certainly understand that frustration. Now, once you joined Steemit, though, what was your overall impression of the platform at the time versus kind of where it's headed now in 2018? How different has your opinion changed from then until now?
Well, then it was brand new, and we could only have. I mean, that's a very tough question. It's certainly been a ride, starting with a few people, a few hundred people that was on the platform when I joined, and it's grown into we're almost 1 million users now, or accounts. And back then we had days where we were maxing out with 500-600 posts, and now I don't even know how many we are. Our bot stopped being able to track activities a long time ago, and then it was something between 50,000-60,000 posts per day, or something around those numbers. So there are the same amount of coins per day to fight over, but there is a lot more people fighting over those coins now than it was, and I think that is something we will just see continue.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. I joined last year, and even just in 1 year, or actually just under a year, it's changed quite a bit. The actual Steemit website, anyway. Of course, the Steem blockchain is a separate thing altogether. What are some of the different things that you're working on now that you're here and that you've been here for a couple of years now? What are some of the different projects that you like to work on?
Well, I'm working on some projects that I can't disclose. I'm under NDA, but I'm working with good, solid, or interesting innovations that I think will benefit uh, the businesses involved and their customers when the projects are finished. Um, I'm a strong advocate for businesses on the blockchain, and so I support some developers in the open source sphere to continue making apps for the Steem blockchain, and well, I think until that becomes boring, I think I'll just keep working with the Steem blockchain and see how much fun we can create together here.
And do you think that becoming a witness opened more doors for you to get more business onto Steemit?
No, because the business originated on Steemit and is originating from people that are on Steem. The fast transaction time and the different things that the blockchain can do opens the door for many different types of media and virtual distribution businesses. Vending machines software, for example. We have vending machine software that we are currently using. One product we have that is Booster and a Speed Voter. You pay and you get an upvote. That same system could be placed inside of a vending machine, and you would pay and get a Coca-Cola or a Snickers. So stuff like that can start with something simple that we can battle test like this, that can eventually become part of Internet of Things, and yeah, just send money to a vending machine and get your product. We're seeing more autonomous shops that are in their alpha testing stage. Autonomous burger shops. I heard about one in America where they are testing out different solutions for how little people is needed in order to get people what they want, and I think in the future you will see a lot of people that will need to work as software and hardware janitors, because the world is just becoming more digitalized and more tokenized. And I think by tokenizing everything, and then I mean everything from remote controls to fire alarms to everything, that will enable your refrigerator to contact the autonomous shop and tell it what it needs, pay for what it needs, pay for delivery, have it delivered, and all the human needs to do is basically receive and sign that he has received the cargo and put it into the refrigerator, unless we have an autonomous solution for that too, so the human doesn't need to do anything. But then maybe we don't need the humans also, so who knows?
Yeah, it certainly seems that the world is heading in that direction. It's certainly becoming more digital, more automated. It's really interesting to see where the future might take us eventually. Hopefully, the people will still be needed for something, right? The humans got to stick around for something. Um, what other things are you doing on Steemit? Like, I know you're in the Steam Speak group quite often. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I started steamspeak.com. I I made a conscious decision about Steam a while back after I had joined Steam and checked out what was under the hood. I realized that this blockchain was more sophisticated and it was overall so much better than anything else. And I guess I had an epiphany that Steam might just be the place the internet will come to hang out. So yeah, I mean, just stick with it. And I'm from the OG Bitcoin only trading part of the internet. So I was used to a certain loyalty to Bitcoin and only trade for more Bitcoins and that thinking. But I fell in love with the technology that was running Steam and it did fill up with people, and it keeps filling up with people. And there is no blockchain, there is nobody that can compare themselves with what Steam has when it comes to real users talking real words with one another. I mean, nobody has that. Nobody's coming close to what we have. Even social media platforms that are based off of Steam cannot even compete with Steam. It's just so remarkable. The developers that are working on applications for the Steam blockchain, so many of them, so many visions, so many showcases what the Steam blockchain is able to do in combination with the smart storage. We have seen how a couple of video platforms have turned up and turned out to be great replacement for YouTube, and we are seeing YouTubers and live streamers coming to DTube and DLive from Twitch and YouTube, and they're making money here, and they like making money. Everybody likes making money, but it has more opportunity here for more people, and yeah, we are seeing a lot of good things, and it is I think the biggest challenge is to remain humble in this, because at some point we will reach critical user mass, and when we do, this snowball will become very big very quickly.
Well said. And yeah, I mean, it's certainly come a long way in just a short amount of time. Even I've been here, and I know Poetic Snake, you've been here since 2016 also, right?
Yes, July 2016. I think I joined after First Stickendale because he was already around. So yeah, it's been a long time.
And yeah, it certainly seems like, more and more people are joining the site from all over the world. And of course, not just the Steemit website, the blockchain in general. Like you mentioned, there's lots of other sites like DTube and DLive, and we've experimented with those a little bit, doing videos and live streams and things, and they seem to work quite well. And yeah, it's fascinating to see how everything is evolving. And then your group that you created, the Steam Speak, so it's on Discord, right? And then you said there's a website also for it.
Well, steamspeak.com is redirected directly
Oh,
to the Discord server, so just to make it easy for people to remember the server name.
yep, that's a good idea. And yeah, I've jumped in there a few times before, and I know Snekky, you've been in there quite a bit, and that certainly does seem like a great place where Steemians can kind of just go in and at least, like you said, actually talk with other people, even beyond typing, but actually hear their voices as well.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was necessary to set up a place where we could voice talk. Steemit chat didn't have that available, and we were already using a software back then called TeamSpeak. So I registered steamspeak.com, but then we changed software from the TeamSpeak software to Discord software. Kept the name though. Was kind of catchy anyway, and it's a name that opens up for to speak about Steam, and knock on wood, we haven't had it quiet in the voice chat since we started, so 24/7 all year you will find people in SteamSpeak watching charts, listening to music, or talking about the latest drama that is going on the website, or the latest development that's going on the blockchain, or something else that is of importance that happens in the world of blockchain or government or banking. So you have a myriad of topics that arise during a day, and not every day is the same, and it's wonderful. So a lot of new people joining, and also many old people staying, and so it looks healthy. It looks healthy, and it looks fresh, and yeah, I like it. I like it. Usually, noobs can wear you out, and I guess we all have had our fair share of that. But the community is smart enough to educate quickly noobs to a level where they are not irritating everybody every 5 minutes with, "Hey, look at my blog, look at my blog." They understand that's not the primary reason to join SteamSpeak, even though we have upvote services there and you can get upvotes. It's better to come there for the strong community, and to talk with people that have ambitions that are longer than what the price of the Steam token is from day to day. We have
Yeah.
people that work on shows, or TV series, or internet series, stuff that is coming out on a weekly basis soon. Production people have spent money on and time on and taken it to the next level. So a lot of next level stuff we will see. People are taking it up a step. If they've been on YouTube, they are brushing up with a new camera and a new light and maybe a new makeup kit, so they look their best, I mean, we've seen people like Jerry Banfield, becoming a Steemit superstar, and he was rejected in Dash. So yeah, it seems to be working for many people.
Yeah, no, I mean, Steemit and the Steem blockchain, it's a different experience for every person that comes here, too. It's like some people might join, like myself, I kind of joined, I'd never really blogged before. I had done radio work outside of the blockchain, and so eventually this became a natural transition to start doing like a podcast and a radio show here. But I had never done blogging or any of these things before I got here. And now I'm, more or less trying to create content all the time, and it's all because of the Steem blockchain. And I know many other people have had, similar experiences where now that they are here, they're, of course, enticed to want to create more content because they could possibly be rewarded for it. And there's also a new audience of people here from all over the world that they can share their content with. And so the blockchain here on Steem is an opportunity for people to not only create new content, but to interact with people from all over the world. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And how are things with Booster? I mean, the community is split about it. Like, I don't know if it's 50-50, but I hear a lot of people who are against the vote buying, and a whole lot of people I know are pro buying the votes. Do you notice a lot of that now that you have Booster?
Booster been running for almost a year. People have opinion about things. People have opinions about Burger King and McDonald's too. I don't think it's fair of me to have an opinion on it. It's an ongoing running business that upvotes 10 times per day with 10 times per day, and it does so it won't drain on the reward pool. It doesn't upvote more than it should per day, and it upvotes around 1,000 people per day. So consider we are 50,000 posts per day that are coming out, and in that jungle of posts, when you are new here, chances are that you will not be noticed. Chances are that you won't get noticed for a long time, and chances are that you will give up before you reach an audience, or you use upvote services to get attention. I mean, there are many ways to get attention. You can make a YouTube video on YouTube and pay YouTube thousands of dollars to boost your YouTube video so people can hear about your Steem blog and come and join you on Steem. You can make a video presentation and put it up on Facebook and pay Facebook thousands of dollars to make Facebook users see your video and come and join you on Steemit on your blog there. Or you can use Steemit boosters, Steemit upvote bots, and pay them thousands of dollars and make sure that you are being seen by everybody. It's really up to users where they want to marketing their blog, and well, we will, it's not really something that anybody can do anything about, because shareholders have the right to do with their share as they want, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. That doesn't mean that the opinions are right. So be careful listening to too much opinionated, just people that feel entitled. That there is a lot of whining from people that feel that they have been on the platform a long time and they feel entitled to upvotes. But in my honest opinion, those cases where I have checked, they are not producing content for their audience. They have just gone into something that looks like posting for the sake of posting, and then they get frustrated that nobody likes what they make and go and blame it on upvote bots. Trust me, there is plenty of votes to go around that is not going through any upvote bots. But many people create really bad content, and I'm not going to upvote bad content. So make great content, and then we'll talk about attention. But if you don't even gonna put in the work yourself to make great content, you know, what can I do about that?
Yeah, that's well said. I mean, everybody's going to have an opinion about something on here on this blockchain. There's so many different facets of everything that have two opinions to it or more, and that's just one of those topics. And it's like you said, it's to each their own. Everybody can kind of make their own decisions about that, of what they're going to do with their Steem and their Steem dollars and all of those things. You know, we certainly aren't telling you guys out there what to do. Do your own research and do what you want to do yourselves. But yeah, no, it's certainly great to hear about all the different projects you're working on and all the different things you are doing on the Steem blockchain. And what was the name of your witness again? Just because I don't think we mentioned that before when we were talking about it. What's your actual witness name on Steemit?
Well, our witness is called First-Witness. You find it on the witness page on Steemit. When you see on the menu there, you can go down to witnesses and vote for First-Witness.
Absolutely. And we'll put a link to the witness voting link, and of course links to TeamSpeak or not TeamSpeak, SteamSpeak, and those groups as well, SteamSpeak. And Snek, what were you going to say there?
Oh, I was going to say that when did you decide that you wanted to become a witness for the blockchain?
Well, in the beginning, I wanted to run the witness to have some sort of a funding source to be able to do Steem marketing, basically. And the witness in the beginning, well, it wasn't profitable at all. So I actually paid every month to keep it running. And when it became profitable, that was great, because now I get to work with Steem 17 hours a day. I get to be on SteamSpeak 17 hours a day. I get to talk with people around the world about Steem on the telephone, on conference calls, in normal business situations. I get to talk about Steem and onboard investors onto Steem and bring them into SteamSpeak to hang out there if they want to, or be passive or active investors. They do what they want with their stake, but yeah, the witness allow me, and the witness allow me to continue to work on making Steem known, and be a hub where you can meet Steemians on an open space with no reason to be afraid to ask questions and get no bullshit answer. So yeah, that's what it does. And now that we are becoming more established, it's good to have a surplus to be able to use on local events. I have still things that I want to do year after year after year. So the witness is important in that regard to fund my crazy ideas without having to ask for additional funding, or I don't like to be a beggar of anything. So I like to work and earn and be able to pay from my own pocket. So it's good to have a machine that serves the blockchain and is also making it possible for me to do these things without having to pay out of my own pocket to do so. So yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah, I can see that. And how long did it take for it to become profitable? Was it a long time that you have to sit there and wait, tapping your fingers on the screen? Come on, come on.
Oh yes, that was a long process. Remember, we started the witness, got very little votes for it to start with, and we were below 50 for a very long time, and the price of Steam went from $4.50 at the top, and it went down to $3, $2, $1, and we were still, all the way at the bottom there. Um, so all those months did cost us money, and yeah, it took a while. We were discussing internally if we should just give it up, but I said no. Let's continue. I mean, maybe thing takes a bit of time, but it will turn around, and we are not gonna go anywhere and anytime soon anyway. So let's stick with the Steam experiment, and stay true to this cause, because I don't know if you remember, Snekky, but it's um, it's a long time ago now. I wrote a 9-year plan for Steam,
Oh
and
yes, yeah, I remember. I remember you telling about it. Yes.
yeah, so I intend to follow my own plan to the fullest, and that's what, so in 9 years you can at least say that, yeah, Firstikin is a man of his words.
We're now in year 2, I think. Yes, year 2. And is everything going according to plan so far?
We are less than a month away from starting on year 3. So we have a birthday I think in 26 days, so 25 days or so. Steam is 3 years old.
Yeah, I think there should be cake.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe we sent cookies to Steam, I think, last time, but for Hard Fork 18 or 19 was it? We sent a box of cookies. They were called Insomnia cookies from a cookie factory in the United States, but Steam, I think people thought it was Amsterdam speed cakes or something, space cakes. They had
Oh
just
dear.
they'd just been to Amsterdam for Steam Fest, so they probably had some experiences or heard some stories over there. So I heard that they were afraid to take the first bite. I wondered what this was.
Well, insomnia cookies do make sense because everybody on Steemit, no matter who I speak to, mostly the new Steemians, they never sleep anymore since they joined Steemit. So insomnia cookies, they should have known that they could eat it.
Well, maybe next time I'll send just flowers or Ferrero Rocher or something with a label on that that doesn't scare the CTO.
Yeah, might be better.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm on a diet, But then he came to Steamfest later, and he had put on a few pounds. So I think he was just afraid to eat the insomnia cookies. People say the darnest thing to get out of a situation, huh? And those delicious cookies.
I would have eaten them all.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get to taste them. And people were giving me feedback that they were amazing, and I was hungry.
That's awesome. Those are good stories. For sticking, it's been awesome having you here on the show today. Are there any other things that you want to mention to the community while you're here on the show? Maybe anything you have planned coming up that people should watch for on either on your blog or in Steam Speak, or anything really that you want to mention while you're here?
Yeah, I want to mention this. My latest post was about the right to some privacy on Steam, and it got a lot of attention, a lot of views, a lot of comments, and maybe pass this torch on to other people you interview in the future. How much should non-owners of your account be able to see when they check the blockchain for your account? Should there be implemented layers that could hide your balance from potential thieves or snoopy family members, or those things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read your post about it, and I related to it, because everything, I mean, it's open for everyone to see, even people you don't want to know how much money you have or things like that.
Right, and yeah, that I felt that that the level of how interested people have become in me after they have figured out Steam and put two and two together has been annoying, really annoying, and my company is run very well, and we have great auditors, and everything we do in accordance with our own auditors. So there is really no reason why we need to flash any numbers out to the public square. We are a private company. We are not publicly traded. We are not required to put up on the internet our balance sheet, and none of us are running for president anywhere. So it just feels like it's been a great journey to have open balances, to be able to balance the Steam economy, but I really do feel that it is more a liability to have open balances than it is an asset. Of course, it's great to know that you are talking to somebody that is who he is, but it's not so nice to that everybody is up in everybody's business. No, it shouldn't seem stupid that if you buy a pack of cigarettes, you don't want everybody in the world to know that you went and bought a pack of cigarettes, and what type you bought, how everybody get to see your receipt. Why can't you just take your receipt and put it in your pocket and give it to your auditors that needs to see it, so that he can take that, tell you that no, you can't write that off the company. That's spending.
I do wonder sometimes if that's, unfortunately the future we're heading into with blockchain, is if that's, I mean, obviously we all enjoy what we're doing here and everything, but then there always is that kind of that dark side of the blockchain that people sometimes talk about or whatnot, is if is it gonna free us all, or is it gonna kind of enslave us all? I don't know. Time will tell. But yeah, it is interesting how, you bring up that subject, and who knows, maybe in a future hard fork or something, they can add those layers of privacy. I'm not sure how that works, but it does raise an interesting subject for sure.
Well, it has been done on graphene systems before, I hear, and it is extremely doable. It is extremely doable, and it's just up to the will of the people and the willingness of the developers to do what the will of the people is. Uh, I think um, I think it shouldn't be a subject we just drop and pick it up in a year and then drop it again. And if there is something that we can do, even a small thing, we can do. Like, for example, that you have to have a Steam account yourself in order to see other people's balances. That would be great, instead of having it so that all you need is Google, and now you can figure out everybody's balances from a third-party search engine. I think that is too open again. We tried something similar in Norway with the open textbooks online, and all it ended up being was abused by criminals that contacted individually very smart people that would contact the top 5,000 people and try to scam them with whatever it was they could. Every type of scam were tried on the top 5, top 10,000 earners in Norway. And they did this for 2 3 years and decided that too much openness was a burden for the society, and a nervous society is an unproductive society, and productivity has dropped significantly in Norway. I think because of openness, too much openness have freaked out some people, and I can understand that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's definitely something to keep an eye out on, and we'll certainly share your blog in the chat when we air the interview, and I'll link to it in the show recap as well. And like you said, it's kind of a subject that maybe people out there on the Steem blockchain should start thinking about a little bit, and maybe weigh in their opinions in a blog of their own or whatnot. And yeah, it's
I
certainly
mean,
something we can bring up again, in other shows as a kind of a recurring topic,
I mean,
maybe.
a scenario that keeps playing in my head is how cruel would it be to take a teenager in a slum and strap money on him and tell him to walk through the other side of the slum and see what happens. I mean, how long would it take until everybody would be grabbing his money and attacking him for having money in the wrong place?
Yeah. It certainly raises a lot of questions, and yeah, it's certainly a topic we should all maybe consider and think about, and maybe voice our opinions on that if people feel pretty passionate about that. So it certainly is an interesting topic that you're raising, and I think it's definitely something all of us as Steemians and people who use the blockchain and all of these things going forward kind of need to consider.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
you know, ask questions to other people and pass the torch. Let's it'd be interesting to hear what people have to say about the privacy issue and the security issues that raises. Because just having a password and a two-factor or a you know those things ain't secure enough.
That's very true. Yeah, we'll certainly keep the torch going on that topic for sure. Were there any other things you wanted to mention while we have you here on the show?
No, just enjoy making shows and blogs and vlogs and spend some time editing and have an extra cup of coffee before publishing, so that you are in a chill mode when you are releasing things. Often things becomes better when you don't rush it.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely. Sitting down and taking your time to write or read over it one more time, and just sit back, wait a little bit longer, and before you do anything, it's just good. It's good advice, actually.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, again, we've been visiting with Versticken tonight. And Snekky, did you have any parting words you wanted to say before we let him go here?
Absolutely. Thank you for being with us, Versticken. This was very interesting to hear you talk again. So thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Wish you the best and steam on.
Yes, Versticken, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on the radio show, and we will certainly share a link to your blog and to the SteamSpeak website, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, so we are back now here live here on the Resteem Radio Show, and that was our interview with Versticken. What'd you guys think of that? Snekky, are you here with me?
No, I slithered away. Yes, I'm here. I enjoyed it, listening to the interview again. Of course, I already knew what's going to be said, but hearing it again, you always hear new things. So.
Absolutely. And we've shared his blog link a few times, and it's steamspeak.com. Links over to that Discord group where you can go over there and chat with other Steemians, interact with maybe a different group of people that you haven't talked with before. And it was certainly great to have him join us on the show. And we talked about his Steam Witness also, his thoughts about privacy and security with wallets and things like that, and just kind of the privacy issue of the whole thing. And so it is an interesting topic. And it's pretty. It was awesome to have him on the show. I mean, he's a really bright guy, and he's been here a long time, so he's certainly experienced on the Steem blockchain. And it was really great to talk with him.
Absolutely. It was amazing to hear a little bit more of everything that he's doing on the platform and on his channel, SteamSpeak.
Absolutely. Again, everybody, you are listening to the Resteem Radio Show here on MSPWaves Radio. My name's Ma1ne, and my co-host Poetic Snake here with me as well.
It's me. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining.
And that interview you just heard was pre-recorded, so we appreciate Versticken taking the time to do that interview with us. We are here with you now live. If you're listening to the show, it's February 28th, the final day of February 2018, and we're here with you, like I said, live on MSPWaves Radio, which is part of the Minnow Support Project, and we are hanging out in the PAL network right now, the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord. And we're chatting in the MSPWaves audience room right now. We've got a whole bunch of people here. Shout out to everybody who's listening tonight. Should we maybe run through some of these names, Snekky? I can start if you want.
Yes.
Shout out to... Yeah, we'll just start right at the top, and we'll just go right down that list there of people who are here.
Okay.
I see Acid Yo. What's up, Acid Yo? Shout out to the OCD team. I see Angel out there. I saw Intrigue is out there, Clayboyne, Crimson Clad, Saigon, Ezzy, Freedom Exists, Fun Worlding. I see Grim is out there. Do you want to take over, Snekky?
I see Jack, Johannes Hemp, John Fist, LL Farms, Menno is here, Nugget Power, Ola Jamoki, Pensive is here, and Peppa Cow the Pirate Cookie Stealer is here, Pink Coco, and Rondon. Will you pick it up again?
Saipan Damashi, I see Scuzzy, Shadows Pub, Soundwaves Photon, Stacy Jean, The Bug IQ, Two Flower, our next guest who's going to be Zord189, and Chaos Whips, also known as Uniwisp. So shout out to everybody, and if you're not in the chat room, that's okay. I know there are ways to listen to the show outside of that, plus if you're listening to the recording of this show on my blog, shout out to you as well. We love all the listeners and supporters of the show. We are here because of you, so thank you so much. You're all awesome.
Yes, it's amazing to have you all with us here tonight. I'm frozen solid, and seeing you all is making me feel all warm.
Yes, thank you. And we do this show each and every Wednesday night on MSP Waves. It's 10 to midnight UTC time. And I think we're going to stay at that time. I know the daylight savings change here happens in the U.S. and other countries that do that. I don't know if is it just the U.S. that does that. Sorry, I'm kind of an idiot in that department, I guess.
We all do it.
But yeah, so the time change, I don't know if that will affect the show, but it shouldn't. I think it will still be at the same time UTC time. It may change the Eastern Standard Time because of the fall time change. UniWisp, can you let us know how does that work? So it's spring ahead, so our time goes an hour ahead in Eastern Standard Time, but how does that affect the UTC time? Because, see, normally this show starts every week at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. For me, I'm on the East Coast of the U.S., so it's 5 p.m. when the show starts. So does that mean our show would start at 6 now? I'm not really sure. We'll have to check on that, because that's coming up pretty soon, in another week or so.
Just thinking about something like that makes me so confused.
Yeah, so UniWisp saying that, yeah, starting March 11th Eastern Time, it will start an hour later, and the UTC time will start the same. So it'll still be 8 to 10 UTC time, yes, and it will start now at 6 p.m. Eastern after March 11th. So that's coming right up. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're tuning in right now, we would actually just be getting ready to start the show here in a couple of weeks. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, if you miss the show, or if you miss a part of a show, or you want to go back and listen to previous episodes, they're on My Steemit blog right now. It's Main Event. I spell it MA1NEEVENT on Steemit. And you can find, they're on my YouTube channel, and you can find all the previous shows right on there. We've interviewed dozens of different Steemians from all over the world. Previously, the show was called Main Event Interview Show. That's kind of when I started out by myself, and then eventually Snek joined the show, and we recently rebranded now to the Resteem Radio Show. And this show is going to be talking about basically the Steem blockchain each week, our opinions about it, our thoughts about it, the things that are going on, different projects, and of course the people behind the profiles. You know, all these wonderful creative people that are using the Steem blockchain. And it's wonderful to have you all here telling your Steem story of how you kind of found your way here and what you're doing. Ma1ne Snekky, yes, Adio says, yeah.
Yeah, I had to laugh at that one. It's so cute. It sounds cute, Joe. Ma1ne Snekky.
We don't have much for snakes here, but we have a few. They're not poisonous, thankfully.
See, snakes are cute.
But yes, Rondon's doing a message right now in the chat, too. He says if anybody wants the Discord notification for this radio show, add an emoji to his comment, and he will add you to the subscription. That's a recent feature that they've added here on the radio show. And if you're listening to the recording of this after the fact, just send me a DM, and if you're in the Minnow Support Project server, we can certainly get you those notifications so that when you'll get a little alert when the show's live.
Yeah, I added an emoji just to be sure that I will never be late.
Yeah, I got to have you here, Snekky. You're the co-host now.
Yes, I am. It's weird, huh?
No, it's definitely not weird. We both seem to find different guests in our journey on the Steem blockchain. You had been in Steem Speak a bit, and I'd talked to Versticken and kind of got him to come on the show. And once in a while I'll find somebody too through my travels doing things, curating and whatnot. And so it's wonderful to have all the different people coming onto the show. It's really fun to be here. And we do have 2 more guests coming on the show tonight. And so we're just getting to the top of the hour here. Again, you are listening to the Resteem Radio Show here on MSPWaves Radio. You can find a full listing of all the radio shows at mspwaves.com. Now, there's shows on here now every day of the week, and they're all hosted by different people from the Steem community. So, again, you can check that out, the full schedule of all the shows, at mspwaves.com. And yeah, so now shout out to everybody in the audience. And let's go ahead and get our next guest ready here. Let's make sure he's all set. I'm going to bring him into the on-air room. I can do that. There we go. All right, Mr. Zord189, are you here with us?
Hey, hello. Good morning.
Yeah, yes, it's good morning for you. What time is it there? What time is it there right now?
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. About to go to work actually.
Okay, all right. And remind us, whereabouts in the world are you this morning for you? It's evening for us here, but it's morning for you. Whereabouts in the world are you? What country?
I'm from Malaysia.
Okay, awesome. And
Mhm.
how long have you been on the Steem blockchain so far?
I've been on the blockchain for around almost 6 months now. I started in early September.
Okay, awesome. And what about the Steem blockchain kind of inspired you to come here and start posting on Steem and getting involved on the blockchain? What brought you here?
Actually, it's a funny story because I'm not well versed in the cryptocurrency world, and I've never actually thought about maybe dealing with Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency. So one day I was on the tech site. I think it was measurables.com. I was reading through the tech news and I saw uh, this clickbait title, or you would say, that actually attracted me to Steemit. And it was actually a guy, a Steemian, who was posting video tutorials. So I actually clicked into that, and then here I am after 6 months now.
All right, awesome. And had you been a content creator before you came to the Steem blockchain, or did it kind of inspire you to start creating content once you got here?
It actually inspired me. I mean, the Steemit blockchain has inspired me to do blogging. I don't usually do blogging because for me, I'm an artist. I I'm I do animation. I specialize in animation, and when I came onto the Steam blockchain, um, reading other people's articles has actually inspired me to to get into blogging.
And that's great. And so tell us about the things that you're working on and doing now that you've been here for a little while. What are some of the things you're working on now?
Um, okay. Just recently, I've been posting about an initiative that a friend of mine on Steemit at BDC Venom and we are actually doing an initiative called Pay with Steam. So this initiative is actually a brainchild of Venom. When I first met Venom like a few months ago, I was actually just doing designs or Steemit banners for him, and during that time, we kind of contacted a few times. And one day he actually told me, "Hey, Zord, I have this really, really good idea where Steemians can actually pay their Steam and SBD to purchase goods without having to go through the hassle of transactions. Now you know that when we want to withdraw Steam or SBD into fiat, we gotta go through block trades and we gotta go through maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum to actually withdraw the money before we can actually purchase any goods outside from the cryptocurrency world. So Venom had this idea to actually use Steam and SBD to uh, directly purchase goods, maybe from Amazon, where you can actually purchase any products that you want and be delivered to you by Amazon. So when this started, uh, he brought a team together, me and a friend of mine at sam.hsuu, uh, a copywriter and a brand strategist, to actually form a team to actually start this initiative called Pay with Steam.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting concept. Sneck just shared the link in the chat, and a few people are commenting, that they actually are enjoying it. And so, we obviously have to say here on the show, we of course aren't, directly affiliated with that or anything, but it's interesting to learn about it and to see what people are doing with the Steem blockchain, and of course the Steem and the SBD tokens that they're getting from creating their content here. Some people are powering it up, of course, and getting their Steem power up. Some people are probably trading them for other coins, or now, the things that you're creating, people could actually potentially buy, actual goods with their tokens that they're getting here potentially, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's true.
So
Yeah, you can actually.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's actually we're trying to get we're trying to make it like hassle-free transactions, so you can just actually spend where you earn. Yeah, that's our slogan for Pay with Steem: spend where you earn.
Okay. Go ahead.
And are a lot of people using Pay with Steem at the moment?
Okay. That's the thing, because when we started Pay with Steem last year in November, that's around like 4 months ago. It was in alpha version, so Pay with Steem was actually running on the Shopify backend, and we were using Shopify to actually help to in the website and the e-commerce site of Pay with Steem. But then we realized that it's really not viable in the long run, because what Shopify does is it has several drop shipping sites or drop shipping companies that actually provide the services that you need. But other than from these companies, we are not able, we are limited to only these companies. So we are only limited to using these drop shipping companies. So that pretty much limits Pay with Steem a lot. And we did face some hiccups for Pay with Steem. And it was because when we started Pay with Steem, there are several Steemians who actually used our service to purchase products, which they eventually receive, thank God. um, and the thing is, when Pay with Steem started, the drop shipping companies uh, was efficient in a way that the customer service was there, but then the shipping period was too long. It took around a month for an item to be shipped to the US and UK, and God knows, like, to other regions, how long will it take? So that was one of the hiccups that we face, and one that is that we can't control, because the drop shipping uh, companies are the one that actually manage the shipping out and and the the refunds and the warranty of the products. So if today one of you were to order a product from Pay with Steem, it would take around a month. And let's say if the product arrives to you at your doorstep and there are defects on the products, it will take most likely another 2 months to refund everything. So it just doesn't make sense to us. So yeah, it just didn't make sense. So that was the hiccup that we were facing. And then there was transaction fees, high transaction fees involved. And all we wanted to do was to make sure that the products from Pay with Steem actually arrives at your doorstep within 7 days. And or maybe like if you have a birthday, and we were just hoping that the gift arrives on your birthday and not after that or a month later. So yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, an interesting concept that you guys have come up with, and it'll be interesting to see how it progresses. What are some things that you also have planned in the future, either for that program or your own blog, actually?
Yeah, we actually recently just received funds for Pay with Steem. We were actually looking to. We actually went back to the drawing board. My team and I at BTC Venom, at sam.hsuu. We actually went back to the drawing board because we didn't want to give up there, because we thought we think that Pay with Steem is it's a really good service, I would say, to for the Steemit community to be able to purchase like products online with Steem and SBD. So we went back to the drawing board after the hiccup that we have, and one day BTC Venom actually approached me and said, "Hey, you know what? We are going to redo the website. We're going to redo the system of Pay with Steem, and we're going to automate the site. So in the coming months, most likely uh, mid of 2018, you'll be most likely seeing a new website that you can actually purchase Amazon items on Pay with Steem, and you'll be able to actually just pay Steem or SBD with for the products. So that's what we are going to move forward in. Uh, yeah, and just recently we actually made a pitch to to one of Jerry Banfield's program, where when you pitch, you actually receive fundings for your initiative, your startup projects, and we actually got approved, and the funds was amazingly, it was delivered to us in around in within 3 days, and we got enough funding now. So from here on out, Pay with Steem will be actually looking for developers to actually come help us. Oh, yeah, and our team, we do not have any developers right now. So if you are a developer out there, uh, do drop me a DM, because we're looking for developers who are has worked with the Steem blockchain uh, to actually continue Pay with Steem as well. Yeah, so that's how we're gonna move forward.
All right, well, that's awesome. And while you're here, was there any other things you wanted to mention, just, kind of while we have you here on the show? But we certainly appreciate you taking the time to come on and tell us a little bit more about you and, of course, your Pay with Steem initiative that you're working on. But I just wanted to give you a chance to, we always tell everybody if they want to give a shout out or just, anything like that to anybody, or if there was just any other things you wanted to mention while you're here on the show.
Uh, yeah, actually, um, I would just like to shout out to at BTC Venom, because yeah, Pay with Steem is actually his brainchild, and he has worked tirelessly behind the scenes. Uh, if you've never met Venom, his ID is at BTC Venom. That is at BTC VENOM. So he does trading as well in the cryptocurrency world, and he has been uh, the boss, I would say, or the leader for Pay with Steem. So he has worked tirelessly to actually get Pay with Steem functioning and to actually continue the site. And just recently, he actually registered Pay with Steem as an official company, which is really amazing. This is actually my first real business, I would say, that has a company license. So it's actually registered in Scotland. Yeah, if you would check the Pay with Steem blog as well, we actually did an announcement for that. So the company Pay with Steem was registered on 8th February. That is like last month. Yeah, a month now.
All right. Well, that's really awesome, and we'll certainly keep an eye on that and watch how that progresses into the future. And we are certainly glad that you took the time to join us here on the show. Snekky, did you have anything you wanted to add there?
Yes, I'm glad that I know a little bit more about Pay with Steam right now, and I'm sure to check it out because I think it's really interesting, and I hope that this will develop in something really big. And I also wanted to say thank you for being with us. I know it's very early for you,
No
so
problem.
amazing to have you here.
Thank you, thank you. Do you mind if I update the audience about our next Pay with Steam system?
No, that's fine. Sure, we got a few more minutes here. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so actually, this is first-hand info, so you guys will be listening to it on this radio show. So Pay with Steam would be going. Our system, our new system for Pay with Steam will be going to more like a peer-to-peer uh, marketplace where you can actually people who wants to buy Steam can actually uh, enter Pay with Steam to actually select the orders they want. Okay, for example, if today, let's say, main one, main submitted an order for Amazon, and it costs around 10 Steam, and someone who wants to buy 10 Steam with Fiat or a gift card can actually go on to Pay with Steam and actually help Main purchase those products. And after purchasing those products on Amazon for Main, the order ID will be used to confirm that the transaction has gone through. And then Main will, after confirming, Main will send the 10 Steam to the buyer, and then the buyer would actually pay his Amazon products on Pay with Steam. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting to see how you guys will evolve it, and yeah, I mean, you primarily do things with Amazon, right? You're saying?
Yeah, we want to actually make use of the Amazon wish list. I mean, because Amazon it's already there, it's very well established. The customer service is there, but the thing is with Pay with Steam is that um, we will be like the middleman to Amazon and Steemit. So we will just help you to get there. Like we are, yeah, in the middle. We'll help you with the transactions and yeah.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk about the Pay with Steam initiative that you're working on and giving us that exclusive update. Thank you. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And again, Snekky did share the link in the chat room, but it's on Steam. You're at Pay with Steam, right?
Yep, correct. That's correct.
Okay, awesome. And do you guys have an external website also, or is it just primarily through that Steam blog?
For now, you can actually go to www.paywithsteam.com.
Okay.
But please do not purchase anything right now because we have closed down the system for now. While we begin to roll out Pay with Steam 2.0, which is a new website that will be automated. But you can take a look at the website. It's still under Shopify, and you can actually see some products there that are the Pay with Steam merchandise. We actually have a lot of categories last time when we started Pay with Steam. We had kids section, we had women's apparels, we had watches, gadgets, but we took all those down because we don't want people to be waiting for that 1 month shipping period.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome to hear about all of that. All of it, really. The whole Pay with Steam thing. It's a great innovation, in my opinion, and it's cool to see more ways that people can use their Steam and their Steam back dollars as they're potentially getting them rewarded to them from the Steemit website and the Steam blockchain. So it's cool to see people being creative and finding new ways to use them, and I think that's really cool. So everybody, again, we're visiting right now. Do I say your name Zord189? Is that how you prefer somebody would say that?
Yeah, sure. You can call me Zord as well.
Okay. Yeah, and so Zord's here with us, and again, he gave the shout out to BTC Venom, and of course at Pay with Steem as their profile on the Steemit blockchain. So if you're interested, you can certainly go there and find out more about it. So thank you so much, Zord, for taking the time to join us on the show today.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's really a privilege. It's my first time on radio show. Thank you for making me feel comfortable as well.
Absolutely. Snekky, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yes, you did really well for first time on the radio. So thank you for giving us that privilege to be the first to talk to you. And I hope we will hear more from you and the projects you're working on. So thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, Zord, thank you so much for joining us, and maybe you can come back again in the future when you guys have some more updates for us. We'd certainly always appreciate you joining us. So thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. So that was our interview with Zord189 tonight here on the Resteem Radio Show, and it was certainly great to have him join us on the show tonight.
Absolutely.
Snekky, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. And it's about 20 minutes after 6 o'clock here on the East Coast. What time is it in the Netherlands, Snekky?
20 minutes past midnight. It's dark and cold.
Oh. And I see we have lots of people listening right now to the show. Thank you so much if you're listening to the live broadcast here on February 28th, 2018. And we are hanging out in the MSPWaves audience chat room right now, where people are being quite silly this evening. It's about the only way I can say it.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out to everybody that's listening tonight. We appreciate you joining us. And if you missed any of the show tonight, you can certainly catch it on my blog. I will be posting that later tonight, right after the show. We are considering possibly creating a Steem profile for the radio show. We haven't fully decided on that yet, but that may be coming here in the future, and we will certainly let you know. In the meantime, you can follow MSPWaves on Steemit. It's just at MSP-Waves on Steemit. And most of the time, there's the DJs are doing posts, and they're getting re-steamed there, and along with some original content sometimes as well. So check that out, and of course you can see the full listing of all the radio shows on MSPWaves.com as well.
Yes, and all the shows are made by Steemians, so that is really, really amazing. Check them out.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and go around the world right now, as we like to call it. So if you're listening live to the show right now, or even after the show, if you're listening to the recording, you can always post it in the comments on the blog profile. That would work too. Let us know what country you are listening from tonight. And, try to be honest. Don't put, some country that doesn't even exist or something, or the moon or something. Let us know what country you are listening from, as it's always really interesting to see where everyone is.
Yes, and I'm seeing the USA, Bulgaria, USA, Florida, Virginia, US, Romania, US, Dakota. And come on, people, faster, faster.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we're wondering where you are in the world. What country are you in right now? Where
Canada.
Are you listening from?
Yes, Canada, London. The Netherlands, of course. Eindhoven, de gekste. Okay, right near the beach.
Somehow I doubt that.
I doubt that too, for some reason.
It's possible, I guess. If Johnny Clearwater finished the sentence, I know what that's from, yes. Oh, movie
and
references.
one more person from the Netherlands, Stu Flower. Santa Maria, California, the Philippines.
Awesome.
Ooh, we're going around the world, people.
And we certainly appreciate all of you joining us each and every Wednesday night here on MSPWaves Radio for the Resteem Radio Show. It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's a lot of fun doing this show each and every week. And make sure you check back because we have different guests here every week. We're going to talk about different things on the show every week. So it will always be something different. So if you're enjoying yourself this week, we hope you'll join us each and every week on Wednesday nights. Or, of course, you can listen in to the recording if for some reason you can't catch us live. So we appreciate you all being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
And in addition to some of our changes that we're making here on the show, we are going to eventually talk about curation a bit on the show and kind of content in general and things like that. Yesterday I did a post on my blog and I mentioned that we're open to people using the tag Resteem Radio as a tag on Steemit. And if you're creating content that you would maybe like us to at least take a look at, you can use that tag, and I will be watching it, and I'm sure Snek will keep an eye on it too. And it might become, possibly like a community type of thing where people who are listening to this show can check and look at the people posting on that tag also. And kind of, because we're all kind of close here in the Minnow Support Project, it's a lot of the similar people here, and it's fun to follow and see what people are posting for content. So I want to kind of support the people who are listening to the radio show as well. So yeah, if you're doing a blog and you kind of just need an extra tag, just use Resteem Radio. I'll type it out here, just like that.
Yeah, and I think I also like to talk about curating because I think it's one of the most important things here on the platform, and the more attention it gets, the better. So.
Yeah, and again, this does not guarantee you'll get upvotes. It doesn't guarantee you'll get resteams or anything like that. And of course, we do not support plagiarism or copy pasta or anything like that. So, but if you're someone here and you're genuine and you're creating original content and you think it's worth a look, we don't mind if you use that tag. And I'm going to certainly start keeping an eye on it because I'm a curator for multiple different groups on Steemit, and so are you, Snekky. And it just kind of makes sense. We're both curators, very active curators, and we want to have a way to kind of keep an eye on the people who are watching and listening to this radio show. So yeah, check that out. All right. Well, we have another guest here live to join us here on the show, and he's been quite active in the chat room here tonight. Let's welcome Johnny Clearwater to the show. Welcome,
Johnny.
Are you here with us? I don't think he's muted. He might be muted on his own, though. Let's see. Johnny, are you here with us? Oh, I might have muted him. I did. I apologize. That's my fault, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
No, it was actually smart that you muted me, because if you ever knew me from TeamSpeak, like sitting through all of that without saying anything was rough for me.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you doing so, and it's wonderful to have you here on the show tonight. Welcome.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you being here. Snekky came into TeamSpeak the other day and asked if anybody would be interested to be a part of the show, and I love to support projects on here on Steemit, so I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I knew you love to talk, so I was like, yep, gotta have him.
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate you asking. I'm more than happy to be here, and thank you for having me. I've been relaxing with some bourbon through this whole show, so I'm ready for you.
Awesome.
And bacon.
The bacon was on sound check, but the BLTs were good. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's awesome. It's great to have you here. And is your Steemit name the same as what you've just changed your Discord name right now? It says Johnny Clearwater. Is that also your Steemit name?
I changed it to that just to help you guys out.
Okay, perfect. Just I want to make sure people can find your blog. So.
Although I had never used it, I was a part of Discord a long time ago because we make video games, and people that are very familiar with Discord know that's kind of its basis. And we make video games, and Forever Humble PDX is our video game company. So that was my account on here. So when I joined these random Discord servers, I already had an account. So yeah, I changed it up for you guys. So.
All right, well that's awesome. We appreciate it. And whereabouts in the world are you from? What country are you in? I'm
in the U.S. I'm in Florida.
All right, awesome. And how long have you been on the Steem blockchain so far?
Since March or May. Anybody that clicks on my profile right now would see it. I believe, March.
Okay, that's awesome. And do you remember what brought you here, or how you found out about either Steemit or the Steem blockchain? What brought you over here?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want like the short version, or do you want the story of it?
You tell us. We're all ears here.
All right, well, the short version is a user at Shane with a Y, SHAYNE. As I just mentioned a moment ago, I make video games. And Shane, I make video games with my son, actually. He's a genius programmer. And Shane was he was our artist on our very first game. And we became really good friends. And he had gone on this whole thing. He was preaching to me about Bitcoin. And I just had no interest. I knew nothing about crypto. I knew nothing about Bitcoin. I didn't have the money to invest. So I just was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then he started to tell me about Steemit. And he started to tell me and show me the results he was having on Steemit. And he's like, you really should check it out. And I did. And I immediately fell in love with it. But I really, really fell in love with the technology, blockchain technology in itself. And then, of course, my personality type, it didn't take me long to get hooked into crypto in general. But yeah, that's how I got here. I think nobody but Shane for getting me here. I did not end up here because of Jerry Banfield. But Shane's a great guy. He's gone back to school, so he's not as active as he used to be. But he built himself a pretty solid account. When he comes back and starts going full time again, he'll keep knocking it out of the park.
That's awesome. And so what are some of the things that now that you're here, you've been here for almost a year, what are some of the things that you like to do on your blog, or either in different communities that you might be a part of? What do you like to do now that you're here on the Steem blockchain?
Well, I used to be very active on regular internet social media. And when I came here, my behavior changed immediately. I saw mass potential and opportunity, and I immediately started to plan and start building up upon these ideas that I had. So I don't handle this platform like I used to handle social media. To me, this is a massive business opportunity, and I've taken that approach. But one of the very first things that I've done immediately after I joined, and I still run to this day, it is one of the longest running contests on Steemit now, but I do pixel art weekly. That is something I like I said, since I started, I do every single week. I put up a theme every single week, and then I allow artists to come up with pixel art ideas for that theme. And then I pick my favorite 3, and I let the community vote on which one of those 3 are their favorites. And then I split the rewards with them.
That's really cool. And so you said it's pixel art, right? I really like that too, because I'm into like old school video games and stuff. So the whole 8-bit generation. So I really like pixel art for some reason. It's really cool to me.
I do too. It's I'm not just old school, I'm old. So I grew up with that in video games. Yep. And I have a huge love for that art genre. So it was just one of the very first things that I started when I got here, and I still run it to this day.
I love pixel art, and it drives me insane at the same time, because every time I try to do it, I fail, and I don't know why.
Well, I get a lot of people that come in and they're like, "Hey, can I participate?" And I mean, it's open to everyone. And what I tell everybody is pixel art's actually really easy to do. It's just really difficult to master.
I absolutely agree with you on that. Yes, it's a pain in the ass for me, for sure.
I mean, I have a couple champs. They don't necessarily participate every single week, especially because usually when they do, they win. We just recently, I got a new contestant a couple weeks ago. He's won the last 3 in a row, and he was new to pixel art, but he spent time watching videos and doing tutorials, and he entered the contest, and he's been knocking it out of the park.
Maybe I just lack the patience for it. I don't know, but I really love it, and it's so amazing what you can do with pixels. Like really, really amazing.
You want to know what's amazing? Realistically, the amount of money that I have made on Steemit just hosting a contest.
Of course, we have to throw out there.
Results
may vary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, I tell this to people: if you are going to start a contest, and I mean, believe me, we all have seen plenty, and they get annoying to an extent. But the people that really stick with it, and the reason it got annoying was because we saw this flood of people that were like, "Oh, this is what I'll do," just they thought that was the get rich quick scheme. But any contest that I've seen that has been really consistent, I've supported. I love the contests. But again, I think they got to be done right. I've had weeks where I was devastated. I've had weeks where I've had my posts worth over $300. Acid Yo, who's in chat, has been a huge supporter since I started it. Not always, but multiple times has come in and made really nice, prizes for the artists by dumping up, upvotes on it. But it's about consistency, and I've had a lot of success with it.
Well, that's really cool to hear, and it's cool because it kind of spurs people's creativity too, to go right out and actually create that artwork. So that part of it's really neat, also.
Well, I mean, I love pixel art. I love dealing with the artists, but it's not like I didn't have ulterior motives, because I did. I knew right away that there were business opportunities on this platform. And one of the very next projects that I started and got to work on immediately was a storefront. And in that storefront, we sell merchandise that is printed with the designs from artists on Steemit. And every single one of those artists I met through my contest.
And how, you said there's a storefront, is there a link to that you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I provided it to Snekky. If she has it, she can throw it up there.
I think she stepped away for just a moment, but we'll share it later in the interview here before you leave. Yeah,
because actually she happens to be an artist too, and when we were talking in private, she wanted to chat about this, so we can bring that back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want to mention it right away either, because Pay with Steam just were talking about their store, and we're doing two very, very completely different things, but don't want to rain on him
okay.
or BTC Venom's.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We understand it's separate projects and two totally different things, so that's not a problem. But yeah, no, we appreciate everybody who's coming on the show, and it looks like Rondon just shared a link there in the chat, so that's cool. Thank you, Rondon. And no, it's cool.
Rondon, there is by the way, just so you know, there is an HTTPS you can use. We made a mistake and didn't force it, but you can use HTTPS with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good to know. No, and that's really cool that it's expanded from starting out as just a contest on the Steem blockchain to even evolving now into creating shirts and things like that. It looks like you must be selling and things. So that's pretty interesting to see how it's evolved like that.
Yeah, I love it. The opportunity to deal with the artists and to help promote them any way we can, was a big selling point for us to putting this together. I built this with another Steem and Steemit QA, who also happens to be the public liaison for Zapple. But me and Steemit QA run Steam.shop, and we deal with artists directly. They give us designs. We handle, obviously, the storefront. We handle the merchandise. We handle the shipping. We handle the sales. And we give the artists 85% of the revenue.
That's really interesting. That's cool. That's cool to see that. So yeah, no, we'll certainly get the link here. It looks like, yeah, you can do HTTPS on that one, so yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's cool to hear about that. Are there other projects you're doing or anything like that you kind of want to talk about while you're here, or really anything you
absolutely.
want to talk about? Yeah, go right ahead.
So I have a Steemit series coming out. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'll be making the announcement post of when the first episode goes live. But the first episode starts March 8th, and then will be weekly every Thursday following that.
Okay, and kind of tell us about that. What will that entail?
So the show is called Hots or Shots. But before I jump into what it is, it helps for anyone in chat or yourselves to potentially have some pretense here. Have you ever seen a show on YouTube called Hot Ones?
I have not.
No, I have not either.
So Hot Ones is a show that's put out by the First We Feast channel. Has a host named Sean Evans. It's a weekly show. It's great. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows on YouTube. I watch it religiously. And when I watched it, I thought, wow, this. So basically, what this guy does is he does interviews with celebrities, and throughout the interviews, they eat progressively spicier chicken wings, and it's a great show.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I watched it, and I was like, you know, as much as I enjoy watching it, I really don't care what most of these celebrities think. Like, in all honesty. To some of them I love, and I'm hearing what they have to say, but some of them it's just like, yeah, you know, I'm over the hill with listening to celebrities and their thoughts on current topics. And I was like, this show would be brilliant if we could bring this to regular people. So I took the idea and I built upon it, and I ended up with the concept called Hots or Shots. And what I do is I'm traveling around the world, and I'm meeting Steemians in person, and I'm doing 100% random question interviews with them. And the show starts with a coin flip. And the coin flip determines if that particular episode is going to be hots or shots. If the coin flip says hots, before every question, we eat progressively spicier foods. And by foods, I do mean local fare, local favorites, delicacies from the area that I'm in. We take those foods, we apply them with these ridiculously hot sauces, and we do the interview. If the coin flip is shots, it's the same format, but instead of spicy food, we do shots of bourbon.
Oh my lord, that is going to be hilarious.
Yes, that's definitely an interesting concept for sure, and because it could go a number of different ways depending on which one it lands on.
Oh, it gets interesting. I have 7 episodes currently filmed. I just brought on an editor. The first 4 episodes are a little rough because I was solely on my own, and I was doing the editing by myself, and I had never done anything like this at all. And I brought on an editor. I've gotten better equipment. So after the first couple episodes, the production value starts to get better. In a couple weeks, I am about to head off to Missouri, and I am doing episodes with Instructor 2121, Gifted Gaia, Psycho Chica, Jacob T.S., Winston Wolf, and Papa Pepper. And that's the next flock of episodes that'll be coming in.
I mean, Papa Pepper, I feel like you have to do the Hots episode with him, right? That has to be like an automatic.
The format of the show is it's a coin flip. So it really comes down to the coin flip. However, I do make certain exceptions. For example, one of the very first interviews I did with a user. His name's Pico Kernel on Steemit, but I know him as Nate. And right up until just a couple weeks ago, Nate was one of the programmers for Steemit. Nate's only 19 years old, so of course we couldn't have him do shots. You know, so there are points where I'll make exceptions. I'm not going to exclude a 19-year-old genius and the opportunity to interview him because he can't drink. Papa Pepper, for example, has given up drinking, so he's another exception that I'm making. So there won't be a coin flip with Papa Pepper. He doesn't drink anymore, so we're obviously doing spicy food.
That'll be interesting. That will be a
good
one.
But in general, the format, it's a coin flip. You have no idea, and I don't either. And it's not like you're just the only one doing it. I'm eating the spicy food. I'm doing the shots with you. So it's, yeah, I never know what debacle I'm stepping into for each episode.
Well, and are you thinking about taking it abroad as well?
Worldwide. My first batch of episodes were in Austin, Texas. I drove out to Austin, Texas, and spent a week out there. I've done a handful of episodes here in Florida, and the next trip is to Missouri in the next couple weeks. And that trip is going to get me up to like episode 14 or 15, somewhere around there.
And when are you coming to the Netherlands?
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because I am going to be coming to the Netherlands. It's actually, remember, in private message, we had that brief chat. And that also kind of relates to another project that I'm working on. But I have some partners that I'm working on another project that are in the Netherlands, which, by the way, I highly recommend people to check out Block Brothers on Steemit. They're a relatively new witness, very, very reliable, always stay up to date on the most current forks. They haven't missed a block yet, and they are working on a lot of projects for Steemit. It's definitely a group worth throwing your witness vote at, and the entire group is from the Netherlands, Snekky.
And I think Block Brothers, one of them is Exile, right?
Yes, Exile. Exile is definitely one of them. There's Echo and Benny Rex and Sarge, although Sarge is spelled with some 3s instead of E's. And it's Echo and Benny Rex who are partners on another project of mine, but they themselves are a reason that I'd be coming to the Netherlands anyway. So believe me, you're going to know when I head that way. And I'll get you on a show if you're willing to risk the flip.
Oh my gosh, of course I am. You're welcome. I'm going to drink you under the table.
Yeah, I'm Irish. Good luck with that.
Oh my gosh, this is bad. This is bad.
Now, I don't pretend that I don't get drunk on this show, because I get fucking hammered. But to this point, nobody has tapped out. Nobody has passed out underneath the table. But yeah, so it's 10 shots of bourbon. There's 10 questions, and we do a shot before each question. We get drunk. Oddly enough, each episode of shots I've done so far, we've done well more than 10 shots. Episode 1 of shots was like 14. The second episode of shots was 12. I think the one I just did a week and a half ago was like 13. We planned for 10, but it seems to not end there. I know on the first episode of shots, my wife stepped into frame and confiscated the bottle from us.
That's probably maybe not the worst idea, but yeah, no, it's certainly an interesting idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing it when you finally release it.
So Snekky, you were telling me that you're an artist and you might have interest in doing some work with us in our shop.
Yes, absolutely. I draw almost all day. So yes, I'm very interested. And the moment you mentioned that shop and what you're doing with it, my ears perked up like, oh my gosh, I need to know more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, realistically, we started the project to give more exposure to artists on Steemit. Obviously, we take a percentage because there's work going in on it from our end. But like I said, we give 85% of the profit to the artists. So we really don't take much. And anybody that's ever worked in distribution knows that the common distribution rate is 30%, which is why we were like, well, let's just cut that right in half and really give as much as we can to the artists on Steemit.
Yeah, I think that is really, really amazing because most of the talks I had about things like that, it's indeed 30% or less even.
Yeah, it's extremely common. That's pretty much the base average out there. But it wasn't about us getting rich. It was about us building relationships, not just with the artists, but building relationships of trust and transparency to other people on Steemit because we're doing things. We're doing other projects. Hots or Shots is a big project for me. And I want people to know that they can trust who they're dealing with. Thankfully, my wife is my assistant, and that benefits people when they're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to sit down with this guy. And they're like, oh, but he's coming with his wife and his kids. So, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that might reassure some people. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's really awesome to hear all the different things that you're doing here on the Steem blockchain and the things that you're planning to create and things.
I got one more, too.
Sure, we got a few more minutes. Yep.
So I mentioned that a couple members of the Block Brothers are partners with me on another project, which we are about a month, maybe just a little bit more, but right about a month away from going live with. But we're releasing the first blockchain arcade.
That's awesome. So tell us more, if you can.
Yeah, I can to an extent. I don't want to give away too much realistically, but we are using the Steem blockchain. It's a platform for indie developers. I told you I make games. I make games with my son, and one of the things that I learned is that the market's extremely saturated, and it's very difficult for talented game makers to even get noticed at this point in time. It's tough. You have platforms like Steam that have decided to stop caring about the content and just flooding the market with anything they can because it's just a piggy bank to them. So when I started to learn about blockchain and its possibilities, I realized that there was an opportunity here for me. And having been making games with my kid for a while, I built some great relationships with game developers. So I came up with a plan. I put it together. I got some people together to partner with and help me make it work. And we've basically built an online arcade. The arcade stores all of the games and all of the games data onto the Steam blockchain. People will come and they will create an account with us, and using Steem and SBD, they will purchase game credits with us. When we launch, we're directly targeting Steemit members. As we grow, we will use other cryptocurrencies as well, but launching, we're dealing with Steemit, we're dealing with Steem and SBD as our primary currency. People will buy game credits from us. From this point, the easiest way to explain it is to just take it to US dollars for me, and we'll talk about quarters, because that's how an arcade works. So you'd buy game credits, and it's going to cost you a single game credit to play the game. And the object of these games, because they're all arcade-style games, is to pop your quarter in and shoot for the highest score possible. What we're doing is we're taking a percentage of that quarter on every single game and putting that percentage into a progressive jackpot. At the end of every week, the player with the highest score wins that jackpot. The remainder of that 25 cents that got spent gets split between the house and the original game developers themselves.
That really sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting idea for sure. And you're thinking it's going to come along sometime this spring?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have a player-ready prototype right now. The next few weeks is going to be polishing some of our API tools. Those tools are what we give to the game developers so they can add them to their game builds, and it allows their games to directly communicate with our platform back and forth with the specific data and functions that we need it to. So we're doing some polish work on that, and the next few weeks is really being handed over to our artist so that he can start working on the visual aesthetic of the arcade itself. And we're not talking. I don't want you to get me wrong either. We're definitely not talking about like casino Vegas style games. These are legitimate arcade games.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, as somebody I've certainly gone to a lot of arcades in my life when I was in my younger years. I think it's really a neat idea that you're bringing something like that to the Steam blockchain. So, yeah, kudos to you, and we'll look forward to seeing that.
I'm really excited about it. I mean, this is a multi-million-dollar thing we're building. This is a really big project. We've been working on it for months now. Like I said, when I joined Steemit and I learned about blockchain and the technology behind it, my eyes just went wide, and I realized the potential that was there. This is a huge project, and we're really excited to bring it basically to Steemit first, although it'll be open to everyone, because if you have SBD or Steam or choose to purchase SB or to Steam, you'll be able to purchase game credits from us. We are talking with people at Steemit Inc. so that later down the road, once certain things have shown that they're successful, we very likely will bring SMTs into it. However, the initial business proposal that we built and we built upon, we did before SMTs were ever announced. So, we're moving forward with our plan first. But I think it's a great way for us to interact with people that are always looking for a way to spend their cryptocurrency. I mean, that's the biggest breakthrough for us. It's not just being able to buy and sell cryptocurrency at highs and lows and making profit. All of us want cryptocurrency to really succeed. And to do that, we need to be able to spend it. And yeah, buddy, I'm going to keep trying to make ways to allow you to do so.
Well, you will certainly have to pull me out of that arcade after a while. So,
for people that are listening too, I don't want you to think like, oh man, there's this one guy and he's a goddamn master and I don't have any chance. Very similar to how like a fair would work. If you win the biggest prize, you can only win that biggest prize once per fair. We're kind of doing something very similar. So everybody has a chance. If you were to win a jackpot on one specific game, for example, you're not able to win that jackpot again for a month, which then allows every week more people to have that opportunity, but at the same time, see the types of bars that were set. We're not selling games. We're allowing the game developers to tell us where they want us to direct people to buy the games. We encourage people to buy them, practice all they want. But when they come to the arcade, it's pay for play, and you are trying to win. And, like I said, if you said you spent time in the arcades, if every quarter you put in 5 cents went to a jackpot, and once a week if you were on the top of that scoreboard, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
a lot different.
Woohoo!
Yep. I'm used to getting the little tickets that spit out, and I can go get a lollipop or something.
Man, I'm so old. They didn't have tickets.
Yeah, I know. Those came along later. Yeah. No, it's a really interesting concept, and you should certainly, if you want, you can come back on the show, later on once you get it up and running and kind of talk about it again, and we'd be happy to hear more about it. But no, it's really cool. We are starting to run up near here to the top of the hour, to near the end of the show, but we want to certainly give you a chance to mention any other things that you want to mention while you're here. But of course, we really appreciate you joining us, and I think that all of those different projects that you talked about are all interesting, and they're all innovations that are cool to see happening.
Well, as much as I'm excited about the arcade, because that's my big blockchain project, I'm not gonna lie, I am really, really excited about Hots or Shots. Tomorrow I'm making a post. I'll be announcing that its launch is the very next Thursday. So March 8th is the first episode, and I hope people come check it out. And I mean, I'm going to make a little disclaimer on the first couple ones that, look, this was brand new to me. I'd never edited. There's some rough takes here, but the show's already quickly improved. And one of the other reasons I want people to check in is it's your opportunity to get to meet your fellow Steemians in person. I ask completely random questions, so we keep it impersonal, and we don't make anything religious or political. However, a lot of the answers require ideology, and it gives you the opportunity to know who's in the community that you're supporting, and get
Absolutely.
to know them better and understand why you want to support them and be a part of this community with all of us. So I'm super excited about it, and I want everybody to come check it out. And when it launches and you see me post like, hey, I'm coming to Atlanta, Georgia, sign up with me, because I'll be more than happy to sit down and do a show with you.
Absolutely. Again, everybody, we're visiting with Johnny Clearwater here today. Snekky, do you want to give any parting words here? Because we've only got a couple of minutes left here.
I just wanted to say thank you for being on the show and telling us all about the projects. And I think you're doing amazing things.
Snekky, thank you for asking me to be here. Like I said, I mean, obviously, I love the opportunity to talk, but I love to support what other people are doing here. So I was really thrilled that you asked me to be a part of this.
You are most welcome, and it was a joy to have you here with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Johnny, for joining us on the show tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man. I'll let you guys do your sign-off.
All right, everybody. Wes, it's been a great show tonight, and we appreciate all of you taking the time to join us here on the Resteem Radio Show. Of course, everything you heard on the show tonight was strictly just our opinions only. We are not experts of any kind. We are not financial experts, so do not take anything you heard on this show tonight as any kind of advice or anything like that. Always do your own research. Of course, MSPWaves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the show hosts, me and Snekky, or the guests that you hear. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and of course, the material you hear on this show is provided for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only.
Always do your own research.
Absolutely. Always do your own research. Thank you to everybody who joined us on the show tonight. We had 3 awesome guests here on the show, and appreciate all of you taking the time to join us and talk with us and share your different projects that you're working on. I'll be doing the post later on this evening, and I'll make sure to link to everybody's blog and things like that so you can all find out more about them. Appreciate all of you joining us here in the audience tonight. Big shout out to everybody. There's so many people here, I can't even name them all. So thank you to all of you who join us each and every week here on MSP Waves. Snekky, what'd you think of the show?
I really enjoyed it. It was cool. We had great guests, and I am already looking forward to next week.
Absolutely. We do this show each and every week on MSP Waves, and of course you can find the full schedule on MSPWaves.com. And we are here every Wednesday night, 10 to midnight UTC time. So check your time zones if you need to see what time that exactly is where you are, but it's 10 to midnight UTC on MSP Waves Radio, which of course is part of the Minnow Support Project. So if you haven't discovered that yet, it's a great group to check out on Steemit at Minnow Support. Shout out to everybody in the radio station. You all do an amazing job to help keep us on the air each and every week. If you're listening live right now, Saipan Damashi has his show coming up next with DJ Saipan, DJ Damashi, I should say.
Damashi. Yes.
So yes, check out his show coming up next. And I go by Main Event on Steemit, MA1NE EVENT. She is Poetic Snake on Steemit.
That's me, yes.
Go ahead and share our links if you want, Snekky. And we will say so long for this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you're using the Resteem Radio tag if you want us to check out your content on Steemit. Of course, no guarantees of upvotes, but we'll take a look. Thank you, everybody. This is the Resteem Radio Show signing off for this week. Thanks for listening.